Hello and welcome back to Gapey's greenhouse. Last night I planted 2, 4, 6, 8 of my peppers, and I've got a few more to go. So this whole bed in the greenhouse is going to be just for peppers, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to prepare the soil before I get them planted. I'm just gonna fill up this with some fresh compost. I'm also going to use some of this Hue Magic. It's a natural organic soil builder, so it should help with stimulating beneficial soil bacteria. So I'm just going to take a few handfuls and sprinkle that over the compost. I'm going to mix it in a little bit. This soil is really dry. I haven't been watering it that much since there wasn't much growing in here. So I'm going to actually water this a little bit. And it's going to need a lot of water. The water just settles on top, so I'm going to need to mix it in. In case you're wondering what this onion is doing here, I'm wanting to save the seeds, so it's just about to flower and I didn't want to pull it up. So I'm going to plant around it. Alright, so that's looking a little better. We're gonna just let this rest for a little while before we get the peppers started, and then I'll show you that process next. Another thing I'm gonna add is some eggshells. So these are crushed eggshells, and that will help with the calcium. I did have a soil test done, and that's a good idea to do so you can see what nutrients your soil is lacking. So I'm just gonna top dress with the eggshells. And peppers don't need quite as much calcium as tomatoes do, so I'm not going to plant any or put any eggshells in the hole when I plant them. I'm just going to put it here on the top. I'm planting my peppers about 1.5 feet apart, so I've got these little sticks in the ground here to show where I'm going to be planting. And I'll just dig a hole where I'm going to plant it, and I'm going to be doing Italian long hots in this spot. And you could see, I mentioned this in a previous video, this is the double cup method. So I've got a rock in the bottom cup and there's no holes in this cup. So the rock gives space for roots to grow out the bottom, and I water from the bottom. So the inside cup is the one that has the holes, so I put 3 slits in the bottom of the solo cup with some scissors. And it's really easy to get this out of the cup. And this method avoids getting root bound because the roots are able to come out the bottom, so they don't swirl around the bottom of the cup. Let's get some stuff in the hole. So for peppers this year, I always use Trifecta for the last couple of years, and that's worked really well for me. So this is a fertilizer from MI Gardener. So I'm just going to take a handful and put that in the hole. And this year I'm using some blood meal. Now this is a really good source of nitrogen, and in the soil test that I did, nitrogen was the most lacking nutrient in my greenhouse soil, so I needed something to boost the nitrogen, so I decided to go with the blood meal. So I'm just going to take a handful of that and put that in the hole, and we'll just mix that up a little bit before we put the pepper in. Okay, and I'm just going to loosen up the roots just a little bit. And then we'll put that in the hole. And you can see this one actually has a pepper growing on it. Now I try to get all the flowers off of the pepper and tomato plants before I plant them, but that one got away from me, so I decided to let it grow, and it's doing pretty well. But on all my other peppers, I've cut all the flowers off so no peppers grow, so that the focus can be on the roots and the leaf growth. So that's the first one, and then I'll just repeat this step with all the others. So next up we have the sugar rush. Okay, next up we have Brazilian starfish. My last 4 peppers are really hot ones. This is a Carolina Reaper and a chocolate habanero. I'm only doing 1 of each of those. I don't need a ton of super hot peppers. And the last 2 peppers we have are the Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion. Kind of a long name. And I think this is the one that has the longest roots. Yeah, this one's got the most roots of all the peppers that I've grown so far. So we'll need to untangle those a little bit when we get those planted. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy out of here. Not tangled up too bad. Looks like I only cut 2 holes on this one instead of 3. That wasn't too bad. Alright, all our peppers are planted. Thanks for watching, and I'm sure I'll be showing you an update when they get a little bit bigger. Talk to you again soon.